Now, hello everyone. Is it working now? I did not go now through Live Producer on my Facebook page. I'm now live on my on my personal Facebook page. Hi everyone. And I don't see the chat any longer. Huh? No chat. Do I see a chat? Let me see. Hello. I'm back. Very curious if you all can now see me? Or yeah, see me, I mean hear me. Hallo, hoi Ingrid. Hoi, ik had problemen met de audio. Het zit niet mee. Goedemorgen. Good morning, everyone. I still can't say it. It is here in the Netherlands. You see here up the time, and that is the Amsterdam time zone. So, for everyone else in the world, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Or maybe you're without time, it's also fine. Hello. Hello, dear friends. I hope you can hear me now. Gosh, it costs so much energy with a technique sometimes. Right. I think I have sound for now. Yeah, sound. Well, I think it's. I think I fixed it. I sometimes the most simple things work with technical stuff. Like just change your USB port. That's a tip for everyone. If something is not working through USB, just change the port. yeah, Rita, it works. Gee, well, it already well absorbed a lot of energy, but yeah, I think I should restart the whole the whole thing because I don't think you heard me talk about updates and so on. Welcome everyone. I finally have sound. I love to hear for you, dear friends. With Facebook, well, welcome everyone. I found I did this because I had to go. It's life, you know. I'm real, and well, I know it's not for everybody's cup of tea, but I feel it takes more time to put a steeds weg. So the sound is every time gone. Yeah, it in my for me it works. I see here that in my I should also be live on Rum. By the way, I videos on so many channels. Hello everyone. Yeah, I go live. Don't think so. Zit ik back that the audio is still not. Yeah, maybe I will then just go offline and let go. Dat wordt weer yeah, you have to dive again down for the computer to change the USB port. Well, I'm not sure if it's that because I see that it works. So there is something wrong going on here with sound, and I don't know why. Yeah. And no, Rumble did not go with the live stream. I should be live on YouTube and on Twitch and on Facebook. Okay, well, if it's too much distorted, the live stream, let me know, because then I will just figure it out. Then it's not. Then maybe I should restart to Prism again. I will check YouTube again. I will listen to it now. I will check YouTube again. I hear it very crisp and clear. Very strange. I hear very crisp. That's hard with these invisible braces to talk. I will check the pronunciation again. It's good now? Okay. Oh man, it's such a pity. Yeah, it drains energy, this technical stuff. So I'm already drained. That happens then too. Well, I wanted to give you updates on that I'm doing far better than last time I went live. I came already out of an incredible depth, and I started Mandala works again. And these Mandala works were from that I wanted to explain how I work, and also because from someone, thank you so much for that. I inspired you to start a Mandala works as well. You know who I mean. And she asked me a kind of tutorial how I will do that. Oh, maybe it's wait, I will. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's my antivirus system. I have, of course, ID protection. I sharpened my protection, but nu weer goed. Is sound still okay? Is het nog steeds goed, het geluid? Alright, so because of and also for other people who love it that I restart the Mandala works again, and it's not that I restarted because of that, because I already decided that, and I feel now support. I mean spiritual support. Thank you. It's so nice, so incredible. So because of all the technical stuff, then I'm a bit out of it, then I'm so inspired and in my creative energy when I start a live stream, and then I have to I have startup problems now. So, well, anywho, hey everyone, back again live streaming, and wanted to talk about my Mandala works. Well, my Mandala works was from already 1998, my way of healing, when the first memory surfaced from my front life, my Dutch life, and my SA abuse. I have to say it as SA. I will make sexual misbruik or sexual abuse because YouTube doesn't allow even the word any longer. So I have to call it SA. This is the world now lately. I mean, oh man, it's ridiculous. I posted that on my social media. I am on my social media, and I started on Twitter from 2014, 2015, because I wanted to express my love for Michael Jackson, which was my lover, and he will always be my only one. And I'm going full public with it because the children. The 3 children are old enough. This is, by the way, also why I kept it a secret, to protect them. I didn't want to have any gossip about them, or that they would be too little and then would hear about it. Because then at that time, I was a bit. I think I was more in a kind of pink, wore still pink glasses. Like pink glasses. Like, oh, if I go outside, if I come public with that I had a secret relationship with Michael Jackson, and put it on my social media, and then for sure the gossip and the media would jump on it. Well, that never happened. So I was really in a pink glasses. So this is why I now openly and publicly talk about it, because it's the truth. And well, no one believes me. Yeah, I know you believe me, the people who know me for quite some time. But actually that gives me also some quietness in talking about it, because it's for me the truth. And And for me, it's very important. That was part of my crisis also a couple of weeks ago. Like, the majority of people who know me here, since I go out, of course, you know, I love dog sitting and I love cat sitting. And I love the people I do this for, because I like being somewhere else. Then I have my own space for a bit and I can take care of an animal or more animals. But next to that, it incredibly triggers, like, they don't know that I live stream. They don't know who I am. And a lot of people I can or chose not to share what I do because some of them even don't believe me, which is their full right. And they do respect me, I feel that. But so I never talk about what I'm doing here. And for some exceptions, which are my close and intimate friends, which is totally fine because I have I prefer a few dear friends I can trust. And besides a whole, a wide circle of friends, and well, you know what I mean. And I see now that there is a chat double. There is a double chat. Wait. Why is that? I see a mixed chat. Wait. Yeah, now it's gone. Oh, okay. So, but to come back to the mandala works, I started on Twitter posting these mandala stitch works to heal from my sexual abuse. Oh, now I say it again, from my essay and from my memories which surfaced more and more because my programmers wanted to prevent me from remembering also my life with Michael. Because he was love, he is love, and he helped me deprogram. And we already tried to escape at least 3 times, of which he was punished and me too. And I experienced so much with him. I could tell a whole book about him. But yeah, he's not here in person, and that's always what I am so aware of. That this person I'm talking about is not here to talk him or herself about their truths. And that's always where I get stuck into, because I'm talking about this publicly. But I realized if I talk from within, from my heart and soul, which I always do, I will never go away from that it's also a way for me to heal and to cope with it. But the crisis was as well of, like, my outside world doesn't know, on few exceptions, who know who I am. And it's very, it starts to become more and more bizarre that I am only partially showing who I am. And it's not that everyone, the whole world, needs to know who I am or what I'm doing, but it's an inner craving to be whole, next to be whole, but also to just radiate like, this is me. I am that former MKultra victim, now a survivor, and I'm going fully for the light and love which always guided me. And for me, that's intertwined with my love for Michael, who saved me. And it is just the truth. And and this is my crisis, because it is my truth. At the same time, I feel all the time, stop talking about this, because that's ego. And I love to hear some in the comments or advice from you, dear friends. If you recognize a situation like do who I am, be who I am. And this is why I picked up the live streaming again, because I realized how I love live streaming, because I reach you, dear friends, who know me now for sure now, maybe 3 to 4 years that I went public with who I am. So I added now to my who I am, that I had a relationship with Michael and his name should be cleared, that he's being polluted, his name is being polluted. And also because the children are now grown-ups. And I chose at that time to come back to the Mandala works. And so I tried through the Mandala works, and you can see it if you go to my Twitter account, which I have back again. Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. I stand for. I mailed the X Twitter support so often. I thought if I keep on bombarding them with mails, I did at least my best to retrieve which is mine. And it felt so sad that I could not reach my ex, because I started that from 2014. So I healed through posting the mandala publicly. And there was a time I released a video about that I was still as Monique, showing in a public video about my relationship with Michael. I had 1,500 views on that video, and then I got over 400 followers on Twitter at that time. And many of them still follow me, and I'm grateful for that. But then I felt like, why should I go public with that? And I came back into an inner roller coaster, because I realized I have to heal first myself before and I did not have the proof. I still have no proof, only myself, that it is the truth. And also that my MKultra past is the truth. And I know who I am, and also my heritage is who I am, from 2 hidden bloodlines. So, and this is it, this is my story, and I chose to go live streaming, and then I worked on letting go of that some people won't believe me, that I will lose followers and subscribers by saying that I love Michael Jackson and that we knew each other very, very privately, and I will always defend him. So that's the story. But to come back to the mandala, I also, after, I think that was maybe in 2013, 2014, that I felt, should I still keep all this very personal stuff like mandala works on my X and Twitter? So, hello, John, PRM, John, M&M, sounds good. Yeah, M&M, that was, by the way, also the M&M was very dear to me, that candy, because of that. So I and Michael always had to laugh about that when we took also the smileys on that M&M with the chocolate, and he loves chocolate as well, or he loved chocolate as well. And I was a while into that substitute for chocolate, the carob. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but that's the fake chocolate. The vegetable chocolate variation, which is very nice. I love the Easter eggs on the carob eggs. By the way, to come back to that, I don't have the physical proof. Yeah, I do have physical proof that I was intimate with him, but I will never show that. So publicly, because that's too private. But to come back to, now I lost my train of thought. But yeah, but it doesn't matter. So I posted a lot of mandala pictures on the X specifically, and on Facebook. And meanwhile, didn't have friend request on Facebook. I had almost no friends, no views, and that counted for the whole social media. And only since I was doing the interview on TVOP, and that I went into that live stream of Barry Henderson, then that changed my life. I think I was guided for that, and I will be forever grateful, and also for the people of Tivop. It was an amazing time to be heard and seen, and amazing, and I honor them for that still. That is amazing, a journey. So then I made a couple of mandalas, of which some of them, I posted a lot of the stages again, as I said. And then for last couple of years, it went quiet with that. I see Rita in the chat say, Michael loves you. Yeah, I know. I feel him. I feel him so strongly. And in times when I was to come back to Michael, an example is which I have no proof of. But for example, I was living a flashback, and I was in the night with the flashbacks. The harsh flashbacks are so harsh in relivings. I understand that a lot of PTSS victims and victims of trauma, it doesn't matter if it's physical or sexual or mental abuse, the slightest bit can create already a scar for life. But in a reliving that was so hard, and that I was lying in my bed, and then I was curled up in a fetus position, and then I moved my feet, and I was praying, and at a certain moment my hand, I never talked about it, but I went through self-harm layers. And I had my one of my hands was programmed, my right hand was programmed to harm myself. And then I was praying, so I was lying curled up in that fetus position. And I was with my left hand, which is the feeling, at the left side, I was holding my hand, and then I was knocking on the mattress with my hand, like I'm not going to harm myself. And I was connecting to Michael. And I heard within songs of him. And and I was suddenly tapping with my hand in a rhythm of one of his songs, and a rhythm section. And then I got the same next to that heavy flashback of the self-harm, that Michael, in the years that he helped me deprogram, that he called up the self-harm personality already. Yeah, he was that intelligent, and he was a genius. And I will defend him for the rest of my life and beyond, because he is a hero, and I mean that. And also other people like Elizabeth Taylor. She's a hero too. So then I was then in that rhythm, and then I heard him that he was, that the same time, I hope you can still follow me, that at the same time when I was in the flashback, which is a reliving, which is another great word, I was reliving the trauma that I will not say what kind of harm, but and then I was knocking on the mattress and same time moving my feet in that fetus position. And then I remembered at the same time that Michael prepared me for that when I would hit the self-harm layer, that I would reach also his healing music, and that he showed me tap with your feet on this rhythm of the heart, and frequency of the heart. And he sang. And I relived that as well. And this is what helped me survive. And I feel him now. He is love, and he's one of the most miraculous people ever. And this is why Elizabeth Taylor mentioned about him, there will be no one like him. Ever. And I mean that. There will no one ever incarnate like him on earth. So this is then, I didn't expect that I would tip a bit the feel of how I went through all these years of deprogramming and the relivings. And this was not the only example. So he prepared my front, that I would remember in the front life, the life with him, and my deepest MKultra and presidential slave memories and the military stuff and so on, until I was ready enough here in the Netherlands with my dear friend here to go through it. And that was an incredible, heavy, deep journey. But yeah, I always felt so grateful because this love was so big of him, and apparently also my will to love. My love was big enough to reach him and to call out to him. And I know why he was called Michael, because it's called for the angel Michael. And it is very dear to me, the angel Michael, next to other archangels who are very dear to me. So hello Nobby, good morning from the Netherlands. Good morning to you in England. What is in the mandalas? And I will maybe I cannot. So by the way, in to have a it's difficult the cross stitch. So a clock next to me which I could see, or a mobile phone which you could see the clock, and then watch the time go by. Because when in an eating disorder reliving or in a flashback, it's timeless, so it's getting out of the body. And by connecting to time and doing something with the hands, but it prevented me from having the heaviest of the heaviest, that I would lose myself. So maybe I can help someone with it. So, and if someone likes to hear more or get private advice, you can always message me through Messenger on Facebook. I will not release my email address any longer, because my ID got stolen last year, and I'm not waiting for that any longer. And I still come across the remains of that ID being stolen. That was April 2024. So it's a pity that I will not make public my email address any longer. But you can reach me if you want to have some advice or a helping word. Let's see. If you feel a connection, just approach me, and I will always respond if it's in respect. So the mandala. So I started a few weeks ago with a new mandala, and I got an image. And I knew, which I never did, was black-white. I felt like such a drawn to black and white, because all colors of life in white are all the spectrum of like the rainbow spectrum, and so that's the white. For me, I never white. I love wearing black clothings. I know they are not well in when going live. Very pale, because I am also pale from my own. I was not a lot Yeah, I should be now audible, and it's now through my webcam. Can you hear me? But the sound is different. Hey, Miss Henny Bruins. Welkom. Nee, geen geluid. Ik heb problemen met de audio. Ja, maar hoe is het geluid nu? Want ik doe dit nu dus... Die mic werkt dus nu niet. Maar hoe is het geluid? Zal ik wat dichter op de camera gaan zitten? Ja, ik ben niet zo van vol... ik hou een beetje van... Een beetje afstand. Ik weet niet, dat is... ik vind die zo totaal vol op gezichten... dat is niet mijn ding, maar... Oké, dus het geluid is goed. Oké, nou... Heel duidelijk nu. Oké, dan zit het in de microfoon. Alright, then it's the mic. So, yeah, I apologize. So, I'm back, apparently. And so, what I was saying about the mandala. So, first mandala, 1998. And then I made several mandalas, which I posted on my ex-Twitter. I don't know if you all got that story. And that it was to at least, because I was so private also about my relationship with Michael, and I still did not really come forward as MKultra, and that I was SA victim and SRA victim, because I felt even very shy in the beginning to even express. So I hoped through the mandala to reach also for the planet and for the earth. And for all beings. That was always part of why I posted this, and of course to heal myself. Connection, lost stick with this mic. Heel duidelijk nieuws. Yeah, Nobby, thank you for the feedback. So it's clear now, the audio. because it's now going through the camera, the webcam over there. So my new mandala again, so I work from when I feel like I want to go work on a new mandala stitch works, and then I start from the center. Always the mandala starts from the center, and I have a huge, I started with a mandala which is 40 by 40 centimeters. I think it is 40 centimeters in inches is 40 centimeter in inches, 15, yeah, approximately 15 to 16 inches for the people abroad. And that's better to handle because I use 1 meter to 150 square feet. So square meter, I mean square feet. It would be and this is how big it is. So, and I show you the back side. And this one I chose to do 1 meter by 1 meter, and that's pretty large. And I show you the back side. And I fold these things with clips because if I work on a mandala, it's from the center, and if it's such a big cloth, a size, yeah, I don't like to work with a ring because I feel it leaves traces, and I want to have it as clean as possible because it's white, and I'm very careful in that it stays clean as possible because a mandala works when I start it, and it's at least a year work. And so then I start from the center. So I first seam the whole cloth, double seam, and I also washed it because I don't like that it's too stiff, and I use pure cotton cloth, so the real embroidery cotton stuff. And I also use embroidery from DMC, and that's not to make an advertisement, but they have that best shine, which is more expensive, but yeah, I love it. I cannot go back to less quality of embroidery, but you can start with the very simple embroidery threads you can buy in also like dollar store or something. So the start, then I ask for an image innerly, and the first couple of days I did not know, yeah, I want to go start embroidering again, but where do I start? I don't have an image or an inspiration, because that's important. Inspiration is for me the godly spark in me, and the creativity, like that's for me godly, you know, that's for me one, what I feel with feelings has to be connected for me to God and to the Creator. So, and then I felt like, why am I so drawn to start stitching from in the center from black and white embroidery thread. And I always start with colors because I love light. I love also black and white, by the way. And I saw come by, before that whole sound things happened, that Rita mentioned also that she called herself the zwart-witte man. So that was the black-white man. That's very interesting, Rita. Thanks for sharing. I did see it come by. Thank you all for joining me and keeping up with me, besides because of the audio problems. So, and then suddenly I saw a 3D optical and illusion. I love illusion. I love these videos. They were, I think, in the mid-90s. They were hot thing in the world, with that you view in a certain way with your eyes, and then you see 3D. And I loved these things, and I still watch them now and then. And there are very creative films and videos about it on YouTube about that. So I was doing that, and I saw that image in black and white, and I saw from an optical illusion from like you see a lot of times, these tricks are being used also by the mainstream media to let you drawn in. So it's like a tunnel of colors, and then or spiraling, and that you're being caught in with your intention. That's also subliminal way of to catch the attention of everyone. Well, I couldn't let go. And then I found an image which looked like what I saw from the first impressions. And then I use a cross-stitch converter online. And then I make what I see, or I create it with drawing. And then I create that cross-stitch, and I know approximately how big it will be, because sometimes these images get too big and then it fills up the whole mandala already, because it's a lot of work. And then it's like, this is the mandala now. I can show you. I will put it, I hope you can see it. And I titled it, I will focus on the camera, I hope you can see it, like this. April 12th, slash, and that was Lilith, and then slash forward 13th, 2025. I forgot to mention, I always start with the date. I hardly ever use a word which I then embroider, which I then stitch. No, that happened because on the 12th, that was that Saturday, which was for me the blackest and the darkest day ever, if I can even say that it was the darkest day ever. That was that huge crisis day of me and of mine. And then I realized that it was the Lilith flashback. So I recalled Lilith because I stitched the center. Well, when I stitch a center like this, and I showed some pictures, that it was only that tiny square in the middle. And then it's about that you first, or you don't have to start, but I start with, you have 4 quarters. That's how I do the mandala. You can choose to have 8 segments in the round, in a circular way. You can also choose to start from the north side, the west, east, south, doesn't matter. Or you can even start from the middle, whatever you want. But you always have to start from the center of the mandala. So then you have to first, of course, make the first stitch in the center of this whole cloth. But let the intuition then talk. So I knew I wanted to start in the north. So this first section, I went first this, and then you go all the way around, you copy the same. And then it works like that the whole mandala. So I start in one direction, in this case the north side, to do an image, and then I copy it to all other sides, to all other quarters. And I choose to do the 4. For me, there is a lot of inner thoughts in that, and intuition to do this in 4 quarters. Because north, east, south, west are for me very important directions, not only literally, but also symbolically and intuitively, and on a healing level and reading level. And there are kind of, for me, symbolisms and deeper thoughts in why I choose these directions. So for me, it's the north quarter. You can also see it as quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might maybe think that the north is the first. No, the majority of times I start in the east, because the sun comes up from the east. And that's to shed light on what comes to the surface from within, from my own inner subconscious. Because I stitch mandalas because of I want to grow innerly, I want to heal. That is always for me the case, and it's intertwined with me to also heal the world. It's always intertwined for me. There's not one thing coming first of these two. It's transforming me, transforming the world. And then it's also transforming and hopefully also in a positive influence for the world around me. So, but this time I started in the north. Well, if you leave the directions, I always start here in the east because of the sun comes up. But it's also the start of the day, like new creativity, new thoughts, renewal. There's the first light of the sun shining upon the subconscious imaging and what is underneath in the subconsciousness. But there's for me another meaning in these 4 quarters, like that the first quarter is actually for me like what is from the subconscious is still subconscious. Onbewust is nog steeds onbewust. But it shows already here what is subconscious in the subconscious. Then you have this quarter, I show it all the time, but you see it mirrored on the camera. So that's the southeast direction. There it is subconscious, but it starts to be conscious. And then there's the third quarter, which is the southwest quarter. This is just me, huh? And it is that the consciousness is getting even more to do, and it's surfacing. And then you become more conscious about, oh, this is what I wanted to, okay, I can now embrace this consciousness, okay, I have it now. And then the 4th quarter is about that it materializes in the physical, that it can possibly materialize in the physical. For me, these, and then you're back to a whole. And this is why it's so beautiful to do this as healing process, because you start from the center, which is what is very from the subconscious, and that's also my Jungian, being a Jung fan, Carl Gustav Jung, that what comes from as archetype or symbolism from within, everything surfaces. If you leave it be, let the creativity be, let the stitch guide you. Is that the right word? Let the needle guide what you want to stitch. And an example of me is that I then have already with my inner eye an image what I wanted to cross stitch. But it's never really fixed, you know, it always can change. As well as this changed as well, because I saw initially this symbol from within, I saw it circular. But I felt like, no, I want to have triangles, etc. And that had to do with what I later found out, my confrontation again with Anubis, the god Anubis. I will come back to that also in a bit, but I notice I'm already so long live. So, and Rita says in Dutch, so great that you could do that so neat. Oh, thank you so much, Rita. Yeah, I have to because it's a project for a long time. So, but I always do that with every creativity, like wash my hands and that everything is clean. That is for me very important because that is from within. Within is without. No, within is outside. Yeah, you know, from within to outside. So, but thank you so much. Nobby says, been 62 and a bloke, I've never been able to thread a needle, never mind embroider. Oh gosh. Yeah, well, you know, Nobby, it's so beautiful that we're all different. I mean, you play the guitar, you make beautiful videos. So also for, I guess, also for inspiring people. So doesn't matter, you know, everyone has its own way also to heal. I discovered this healing process also because I was inspired by others. I think creativity comes also from always being inspired by others. So will I ever say it comes straight from, it's my idea? No. Everything is already there in God and in the Creator. It's just that I hook into like, okay, that's what I like, and then I want to embrace it and use it. You know, that's a beautiful thing about God and the creativity. And this is what the abusers, my former abusers in the programmed world and the whole satanic stuff don't get. That it's simple like that. And so I copy it 4 times. So every time now when I start a mandala, I will start from the north. And this is why you see the next stage already. I worked hard on the mandala. That I worked on the north side again with another optical illusion, which will, I'm afraid, will be too large. And it will be connected from the middle, the center, but I'm still working on it. So, well, the center piece triggered Lilith. Lilith is, I was heavily used with the Lilith goddess energy. And this is why I went through the blackness and a death part in a child. Yeah, again, in a child traumas. And I don't want to make it too long, this live stream. And it was very, very revealing and healing, but afterwards. Another thing happened only yesterday or a few days ago when I continued and was fully in the round with all these 4 sides and the north side, that I suddenly felt fearful of a pyramid structure. I used pyramid structures already in earlier mandalas, and I'm always very mixed in it because I know that pyramids were used for the evil as well in the history. I've seen a lot, and now I come back to, I hope I have energy enough to talk about it, because I planned on talking about it, because also I feel it's important that I share my experience with Anubis and what he is. He is being depicted as, by a lot of people, as satanic basics and demonic, and I almost misspoke myself, demonic babies. It has been used in, I had the ritual of the skull and bones in the Gizeh tomb, underneath the pyramid. And I was put in that tomb for 24 hours. And the lid was closed, and then I was brought to the hell atmospheres and to the hell, the hellish, it is, I would say, I don't know if you know the Resident Evil and the Silent Hill horror games. You can a bit add that, multiple that by 1000%, and then you have what I came across in that tomb. This is why it's also called Skull and Bones. But there's a far more deeper thing in it. Also the black and white tiles, or the dark blue and white tiles. Because they are portals to other dimensions, which a lot of people seek by doing drugs or other things to go there. So, because there was a lot of magical stuff in that Gizeh pyramid, was why I was just very easily put in trance and there in the tomb. And then I met also the certain gods which were also used for the satanic rituals. And with meeting Anubis, I had to relive in the here and now, by cross-stitching this, my death sequence, which was a core part in me who was programmed to be their full mind controlled slave in the MKultra and so on. And this is why I was used for satanic rituals, and also in the Nevada desert, where I was, I'm not exaggerating, but there were at times 300 other slaves were around me on crosses being sacrificed, while I did in the center the main ritual for the elite of the world. And maybe I will release that live stream as well with the heavy stuff about that. But this Anubis, which is, for people who don't know, he showed him as a person, as a male person with an animal head in black, and with a dog head, and sometimes he can show with a cat head on a human shape. And he showed me, actually, I relived it. I relived the tomb experience, that my fear was being used for that I was not a good person, because Anubis is for weighing how good you were in life with the pharaohs, with the kings, with the Egyptian kings. And I was being, also because of the tomb experience, I was being threatened as already as little as I was when I was put in the tomb for 24 hours through that skull and bones ritual, heavy satanic ritual. And then he showed me in the here and now that to overcome this fear. And my inner child part was always afraid of I was not a good girl, because as you know I was in the deep state and as MKultra and in the satanic rituals I was used also for death, and a lot of death for others, and I was in a trance, so I was forced to in the trance. But you know I have still survivor's guilt of that, and many of you know that is for me hard to talk about it. Many of the things I was forced to do I still could not talk about publicly, and maybe I will never be capable of that guilt, and also it's too graphic as well for now. And then Anubis kept showing himself, and I keep seeing him also here, literally in this room. And then I felt like, okay, I prayed to God, I prayed to the angels, I prayed to everyone I knew, like, please help me, because I was cold, I was shivering, and I was it's a bit feeling like that week ago when I was feeling sick, that I could not go live streaming again that day. And I think I posted it on my social media that I was sick, because my whole body was reliving. And one of the relivings was the basic traumas is that as already from a baby I was taught to be fearful, and that fears and death were used for I was not a good girl, I was never a good girl, I would never be good, and that I would let go of feces and let go of, well, throwing up my stomach, etc. That was a programming, and this was also why I had extreme heavy eating disorders, as well as anorexia, as bulimia, both in two personalities. Can you imagine how I did that live in the front live? I still don't get it, but how I survived, I sometimes also don't get it. So I was fearful of, and it was only yesterday that I was heading for the same result, that I would lie on the floor like that Saturday before, when I started this mandala with that center which I'm talking about. And I was lying there on the floor in the bathroom, and I was letting go at the same time of I was sick. My mobile phone was not was not near me, so I was just lying there on the floor. And I was feeling like, okay, dear God, if it's my end now, then it's okay. So I was yesterday again afraid of that it would happen again. Did not happen, by the way. So because I prayed and prayed and prayed, and then Anubis showed me like I am without judgment. I am a guardian of death. I am guardian of the graves. I am guardian. And then he showed me that overcome the fears of me. I'm not evil. And then I started to realize, yeah, you're not evil indeed. It's me who creates the fears. It's me who judge. I should let go of the judgmental, and I should trust on God and in God and with all light beings that I will overcome also this reliving with Anubis and this tomb in Gizeh with the skull and bones ritual. I will maybe do a live stream separately on that alone, on that experience, what I experience. If people like to hear about it, because I notice in the live streams that I sometimes feel disencouraged to go live about it, because besides my friends who are here, of course, and I love you for that, but maybe it's too harsh subject, I don't know, but yeah. So I will not go for now deeper into that. But then in the end of this, when I felt like, okay, now I have to embrace my fear, and that was that this personality part in me was part of a core split in the beginning of the programming when I was a baby to toddler, and this tomb experience, that I was made so fearful of that I was not a good girl, that I would not get the portal to heaven, to God. And that was for me a liberation when I found out. And yesterday was for me kind of initiation again into even feeling more than ever in and with God and the Creator, with the light, with my inner light, and that I know I am light, but I should not be fearful again. I should not be fearful of Anubis. And of course overcome this whole ritual, what I experienced in the tomb, what I experienced, and it made me even let go of demons and so on, and that I'm more going inside of me, that I am me, who I am. And I think this is why I also can go live and talk about it, because I know it's a heavy subject. So I'm sorry about that, that some people think like, oh, I pushed that unsubscribe button. Yeah, I understand that too, but I feel it's also needed that it's being shown in a respectful, integer way, talk about it. And I also do that without becoming too emotional. And then I hope to reach people who might start to realize that MKultra is real, that satanic rituals are real, that the abuse of children and babies is real, and that it goes high up in the highest elite of the elite. So, of the world, so-called world leaders. To come back to yesterday, and then I got so in the light, and I thanked my spirit guides and God and my angels and Michael, because I felt him too in the spirit. And then Anubis gave me a feather. That was for me, I felt like now I literally overcame death in all its dimensions. So I understood now also why a week earlier I was almost feeling like, okay, if I should go, then I will go. But I feel I still have a mission to do. But if I have to feel so sick like this, or get physical problems like illnesses and having to go to hospital and so on, then I cannot cope with that. So then just let me go. And that came really sincere from a lightness, not totally not. Yeah, it was the way it was, dear people. So if it's too hard of a subject, I'm so sorry. I will also do light-hearted live streams, and I do sometimes gaming on my other Twitch channel. So when he gave me the feather, then something happened with that child part in me, the core part, who was traumatized, like she would never be a good girl. Actually, one of the basic traumas I had to undergo as toddler was that I was connected to a black stone, and this is a trigger warning, a graphic warning, and that yeah. I had to embrace black stone, that black giant rock, and also it was bonded through my neck, and then I had to embrace it, and then it was lowered into the water, and that was for me the punishment, and that I would always feel like that Anubis, or death, the guardian of death, the guardian of graves, would send me to the hell. And yeah. I am silent. Also, because I think of all the other children who had to undergo this, all the other victims who had to undergo this programming. And still in my opinion, are undergoing these programming. So, and I wish that the world, the public, the general public, would open up for it, that this is happening by also elite people. It's not only the elite who do this, but the elite keep it going. The elite keep it going. And it needs to stop. And this is why I tell this. And I was not even planning on telling this. I was not even planning on that last Saturday, a week ago, that I was lying there on the bathroom floor and just watching my body and thinking like, okay, if I now go, I cannot reach a mobile phone, so I have to do it. I have to do it on my own and just lean on God, and if I have to go. And this is me. So maybe this is also, I'm not sure if I will keep it up. Let me know in the comments if you would like to hear more about the tomb experience with the skull and bones. Can also talk more about Lilith, but that is for me now too heavy. What I had to endure with Lilith, with the Lilith rituals. And the owner of the earth, which is a heavy satanic person who lives on earth, very anonymous. He's not one of the elite who you see in the world. He is very, he lives a hidden life, but I know his identity. And what he did in the rituals with me and with other children and babies, what I did also was forced to do in the Lilith with rituals and had to witness, it is beyond. So I will put it up on my channels, but then also will warn for the graphics. I'm sorry that I went into this deep, dark, secretive, sadly enough still too secret, depth of what is also part here on earth, what is happening. And I survived. I mean, I can complain about I want to have my own living place, but I have shelter. I have a friend who is with me from the 2000. I have another dear friend I have contact with who knows me also from that time. And yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yeah, I truly apologize if I'm too harsh, you know. And it needs to be told. It needs to be told that this happens. And this needs to stop. And people like me need to be believed, or at least that I wish that people would listen to me, hear me without resistance, and that this evilness is a truth, is the truth. Nobby says we must expose all the main living MKs somehow. I think so too, yeah. And for me it's important to expose them, and I mentioned that a lot of live streams. I wish that someone who was maybe a programmer or part of maybe even my family, you know, of which I origin from. I have two families. I have, of course, the family of my dear love of my life, Michael, and I have, of course, the bloodlines of one is a royal family. And I wish that some of the programmers from the elite would come forward, and I would what would happen if we would shake hands and we would embrace each other like this is, because the majority of them are and were victims themselves, or born in these families, or blackmailed. A lot of them are waiting for the moment that things change. And if there is one who changes the things, and then someone will join and join and join and join, and then it will bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it's bigger enough, that circle of safety, what then this person feels who is born within this bloodline family, for example, or in a family who has all this abuse and is in the lead, I know for sure a lot of them crave for that it's opened up, and that something happens, or someone stands up and then joins the other one, and this is why I don't call names. That's always why I did that. It is about creating a healing force peacefully, that the truth comes out. But what would happen if that truth also comes out from a former programmer, a former elite? Yeah, I would do that full-heartedly. So, and there are people I know. I think there was an Italian who was part of the, I forgot the name, but of the elite, who has come forward that he was part of it. But it would be awesome if it would be someone who knew me, and then without judging me or wanting to reprogram me or rehurt me, like I truly from my heart hope that we can meet as survivors, both victimized, and then shine our light and our knowing, our truths for all beings, for the people on this earth, for every man, woman, child, to, gosh, what is this, I sure will, I don't dare to check my channel later on. So, unsubscribed, unfollowed. No, I'm kidding. No, please stay, please stay, please stay. Oh gosh. Ego, ego. I'm also human, you know. I love to grow his channel, so please please smash that button. Would be awesome. I would love to reach at least 1,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube, because then I can do more. Then I can create something which I can talk more openly about all these harsh things in a small group with supporters. So I have a lot of more options then. So this is why I ask you to like, share, and subscribe, follow. King's Cross, England, Australia, 2 all engaged. Yeah, well, isn't it that almost every country has now influences from within? And oh my gosh, I know I talked about it in my last live stream. It's a messy world, and it only gotten messier, I believe. I'm still confused. I'm still figuring out with America. The leadership there. I feel a lot of things happening which are good, and then I see some people connect to this person who leads America, and then I feel like, how? What on earth? What is this? and a certain who calls him Dr. F. Did you know, by the way, I warned about it already years ago. I think they're planning a second pandemic, and that's now being unfolded. The attempt. I hope it's not true, but there are also signs. And also now our cats and dogs, our pets, are now target, which I also talked about already years ago. So I'm also voicing my truth because of that. And now I heard about the eggs in the Netherlands being, the eggs in the Netherlands get vaccinated. Hear me well. The eggs in the Netherlands of the chickens are being vaccinated with Maybe someone knows which kind of vaccination, but it's... And now people who have chickens for their hobby, to want to have honest eggs, knowing that it's now not being polluted or being vaccinated. And now they say in the Netherlands, the mainstream media, that people should not take chickens because it can be dangerous. What is yeah, what the heck is going on? You know, it is. I'm sorry, I'm now ranting. It is. I really felt like I'm getting out of the Netherlands. I don't want to be part of the Netherlands any longer. It is so. And where are these people in the politic stuff? Where are they in speaking out? And I'm now feeling better. I'm again doing more the geopolitics stuff and so on. So, or more the movements of the world. But yeah, I see. Maybe it's on. Oh, I don't get the comments on Facebook. Wait, I have comments on Facebook. Where am I live? I see a comment come by and I don't see it on the chat. Yeah. I don't know, but I saw something come by, but I will check later on. So, for the one who makes comments, I will read it after the live stream. I will also go to a closure, dear people. I'm going for my lunch. I'm also going to celebrate my Easter weekend. This is an example of that I can enjoy, because my dear friend here left in the refrigerator, like she left a text message like, I have a small Easter, my favorite Easter pie. She left it in the refrigerator for me, so that's so sweet, huh? Rita says, rariteitenkabinet. Yeah, I cannot translate it, but it's actually the government of fools, the Dutch government of fools. It's just an expression. I don't call up for anything. I have to say that again. It's just kind of humor. So, yeah, Rita, I also did, I show myself more and more, because I'm trying to find ways of that I can voice my restlessness, my sincere worries about the world involving this pandemic, because in China there is already things going on with children and babies who get lung diseases, and that it is a variation. And this Dr. F, why don't I hear anything about him? Yeah, I don't want to accuse anyone, you know, so publicly, but it's so complicated. I don't want to put guilt to someone, but I know that I was with experiments who was putting children in cages and animals, put magnetron waves on these children. What I've witnessed in these laboratories. Dr. Glidden, Dr. Glidden. Well, his surname is the Italian translation for a sickle, the man with a sickle. So there you know enough. I was in a ritual with him, of which he got the breath of Joseph Mengele, also my main programmer and designer. I was in that ritual. He got the breath of Mengele. This is what I mean. This is a messy world. We need to clean up in a peaceful way, always peaceful. And I might be wrong. I have to say that as well. I don't call up for anything. It's just that I could be wrong. I am Simply Elizabeth Wallace, broadcasting from the Netherlands. So I have to say that. So I'm trying to figure out things of how can I make my voice bigger in a physical way. So I'm planning on doing a lecture. So if everyone, if someone in the Netherlands, or maybe even England, I would love to do a lecture abroad, but then I have of course travel costs, but let's see how it will unfold. But I'm happy to do a lecture in the physical, talking about my MKultra. I love to do that. And also other ways. So I also commented under a live stream of one of the Dutch parties, in the political parties, very respectful, integer way. Did not get anything on that, which I did not expect, but oh man, at least I do something. So, alright dear people, I'm heading for closure. Nobby says natural herbal remedies, no pharma. Yeah, I believe also in natural herbal remedies. And a side note, I do believe sometimes it can support other means. I don't want to wipe off immediately all medicines. I'm not a physician. And I have examples that some medicine do help. But we as beings are supposed to be capable of doing it on herbs. I agree in that. But our bodies and physical structure has been so altered and bombarded with all kinds of, well, radiation. I know also about that. The nights are I don't sleep in the night, but I you know what I do? Because I am awoken by that low frequency attack. I just go watch some podcasts, I listen to music, and I feel like, well, let's let's do a party tonight, just in the bed, lying in the bed under my mosquito net, and then I just watch these podcasts, and then I think like, well, in the early mornings, then I will sleep a bit, and then I have enough energy to do the day. So this is how I do it lately. And I think that has got to do with that I crossed my Lilith and my Anubis trauma, basic trauma of the core split. And I love to, well, please look forward to see your comments, your thoughts on a live stream like this. Let me know, or your reactions if you like to share that. You can also message me through Facebook, also for the people in the Netherlands who know a location where I can give a lecture. You can approach me. So, Rita says, fijne, liefdevolle dagen. A very nice, love-filled days to everyone. Thank you so much, Rita. Dankjewel, lieve Rita. Thank you all. En ook iedereen, lieve vrienden in Nederlands, die er toch uitzitten om ook de Engelse livestreams met mij te zitten. There is translation in Dutch. Je kunt de Nederlandse ondertitels doen. Misschien maak ik nog wel een kleine tutorial video, speciaal in het Nederlands. Or for also people from other countries who love to. You can change the subtitles into the preferred subtitle. Pachinko, hey, I missed a part. Oh no, I was not focused. Well, that's okay, Pachinko. I mean, who can really sit a whole live stream? I mean, be honest. Who can go through a whole live stream? For me, it's very rare, but I do, but I choose well the live streams I like. But, Nobby says, have a lovely Easter weekend. Thank you, Nobby. You too. And, dear people, I think I want to go for lunch. I am now live 1 hour and 15 minutes. And that's not the first live stream included. I will also upload it to my other YouTube channel, which is restricted, which I don't know why. Maybe see you on my game channel. Maybe I go this weekend. I'm well, I'm a lot alone this weekend, physically here in my residence, so I might go play my game, Hoko Life. I continue. And yeah, if you like just me gaming and talking about life and talking with you, then you're welcome, of course. And Nobby says, I've just had breakfast already. Well, have a nice breakfast. I will go sit in the sun in the beautiful garden here with the tulips, so beautifully kept by my dear friend here, who is, she is amazing with plants and flowers. I don't have that talent. So everyone if you celebrate Easter in your own unique way, wherever you are in the world, I wish you a wonderful, happy Easter. And otherwise, a very happy, beautiful weekend for you, fitting weekend. And I hope to see you in the next live stream. Love that you were here. And yeah, see you next time. Alrighty, bye bye everyone. Much love. Like, subscribe, follow, please. Bye bye everyone. I always wanted to go like with, shall I do that like when the audio did not work? Shall I go down? Like, yeah, I will do that. That's also maybe a nice ending. So dear people, that's just me, my inner child who likes humor. I will go and dive. So else, this is for you, huh? And for the others who had to laugh about that. Bye bye everyone. Bye. See you next time.